Is it time to overreact as Panther fans after the game on Saturday against the Houston Texans? This is my very first video since the game on Saturday. I'm going to have some film in here kind of breaking down the specific points I do bring up today. There's going to be game film behind it, and you guys can see what I'm talking about, okay? Because what I do the first 2 weeks of preseason, I did not make a video until I went back and watched film, and there's a lot I saw that as every game when you watch, you can't see the full picture. I saw a lot of things that a lot of people are overreacting a little bit, but I understand some of the overreaction. So in this video, I'm just going to touch over a lot of the things that I saw in the game on Saturday and kind of why we need to kind of step on the brake a little bit as fans. And a lot of y'all saying we're going to be 5-win team again. We're going to be terrible. Let's hold the brakes. Some of the concerns are real, okay? I'm going to keep that real as right now. Some of the concerns are real as you're going to see when I bring up some of the points. But overall, there's a lot of overreactions in this fan base right now after the second week of preseason, okay? So with all that being said, we're on the road to 1K. Subscribe for me if you guys are new, and let's get right into it. The first thing I want to touch on is the offense, because that is what obviously a lot of people saw, and that's what a lot of people want to see flashes on, because we got T-Mac in the first round with pick 8. We want to see Bryce Young's ascension at starting quarterback. We want to see him take that leap as a quarterback in this offense. And it's just year 2. We saw that leap last year at the last 8 weeks of the season. And last game on Saturday against the Texans, I'm not going to lie, was very underwhelming with the number 1 offense out there on the field. But watching the film again, breaking down, watching the entire game on all 22, can see the whole field, see the O-line, see the receiver, see everything again over and over and over, where I can really break down in my head, okay, what went wrong, what went right. The first things first is that a lot of things were actually opened up. I'm going to be honest with you right now. The passing plays, they looked bad. Bryce, came out the pocket. A lot of the time, it seemed like the offensive line was bad. I'm going to say this one thing. The offensive line was not bad on Saturday at all. Of course, Taylor Moen had that one clip where he went down onto his back. A lot of people overreacted to that. The offensive line was not bad on Saturday for the number 1 unit. And I'm going to slam that because a lot of people thought it was bad because Bryce had to escape. One thing Bryce has to do, and I'm kind of getting my second point now, one thing he has to do if he wants to ascend as a quarterback in this league is he needs to be more patient, man, as a quarterback, because that's what I'm starting to see is he's very quick-footed. I'm scared. That's honestly one thing I am worried about on offense is Bryce heading into week 1, because I've seen this 2 times in a row now where we're seeing good training camp, we're seeing good offseason, and he comes in week 1 and does not do good is the best way to put it. He does not play well. Okay, we saw last year the worst way. We saw year 1, of course, year 1, a lot of circumstances did not go his way. But now there's no excuses, man. If he cannot go out there and play good week 1, week 2, and continue to ascend from the last 8 weeks of the season last year, I'm concerned as a fan, okay? And honestly, the first 2 weeks, it just seems of a preseason. I'm going to be honest with you, that's my biggest concern of the offense. It's not the receivers, it's not the offensive line, it's Bryce. And I'm the biggest Bryce fan you can meet as a Panthers fan, okay? I'm going to keep it real. But I got to be honest, right? I got to be honest as a fan. I'm a Panthers fan. I'm not a Bryce Young fan. I'm not a whatever fan. I'm a Panthers fan. I'm more concerned about Bryce than anything right now for the offense. Like, he is the backbone of the offense right now. If he cannot ascend and be at least as good as he was the last half of the season last year, this offense is going to flop. It's going to flop. It's not going to be good. Unfortunately, I think he can do it, okay, because obviously we saw he has the flashes, man. He has the quickness. He has a scrambling ability. He has everything you want in a quarterback. It's just his patience. He looks scared. He looks scared, and it's very concerning. I'm not going to lie to you. It's very concerning because you saw, the offensive line held up very good. A lot of the reps on Saturday against the Texans, and he scrambled for no reason. And there was a lot of times where the receivers got open. T-Mac got open that one time. He overthrew the ball on top of him. It was actually, again, that's my point, is that a lot of people are overreacting that the offense just as a whole looks dysfunctional. It doesn't. The receivers are getting open. That one pass he had in the middle on 3rd down was a great throw. That was really his only good throw on Saturday. In the middle of the field, JT dropped it. Okay, that's not on Bryce, obviously. But the pass to T-Mac in the middle of the field, he completely overthrew him. T-Mac, I'm probably going to put it in here in this video, he completely got open and he just overthrew him in the middle of the field on a little drag route, on a little crosser. So that's my biggest concern for the offense, okay, as I bring that into, perspective. I'm going to touch on Dave Canales in a second because there's a lot of overreactions about him as well and this staff heading into year 2 as a coaching staff, and a lot of y'all want to fire these guys when it's like, can we be patient? Because the only way you can be a successful franchise in the NFL and in any sport is if you're patient. And we have not been patient. It's not worked out. So, but now let's head to defense, okay? Because the defense side of the ball, I have a lot of thoughts on. I'm going to be honest with you right now. The defense is going to be bad again in 2025. First of all, we have Nick Scott starting at safety right now. That is the first bad news, and that's one thing I don't like about that Dave Canales is doing right now is he started Nick Scott. You have a good ball hawk back there with Damani Richardson that you could place there in his second season and just say, let's see what you have, man. See what you have, because Nick Scott is just not cutting it. He's not a good player. The pass rush. I've been touching on pass rush and how I think it was going to be very improved this season. And I still think the potential in years to come is very high with Princely and Nick Scorin. Obviously, you see the potential in training camp and in preseason so far with those two. But with the ones, it's DJ Wanham and Pat Jones, and there's been absolutely no pressure at all given up. So I'm assuming those are going to be the two starters to start the season. Is going to be those two players. Okay, obviously you can change anything quickly. Obviously, Dave Canales could change something quickly before week one. So far, the first two preseason games has been Pat Jones and DJ Wanham, and I want to touch on Pat Jones. He is worse than Jadeveon Clowney right now. Like, I watched film and there was a clip on a tight end. I don't know exactly what it was. I can't remember. He can't get pressure at all. And when we signed him, I had to argue a lot of fans. Oh, he had 7 sacks. I mean, when you watch the film, they were not really impactful sacks. They were really pressure sacks that he got. He cannot generate pressure. DJ Wanham, he can, okay? You saw it last year when he was healthy. You see it a little bit now in preseason. He can generate pressure. He has a great power moves as a pass rusher. His speed is okay, but he can use his power to get to the quarterback in certain instances, which is the key point, is that he's not a consistent pass rusher, which is his only flaw really as a pass rusher. But Pat Jones is insanely bad right now, okay? And I'm gonna just keep it real, okay? This coach, Dave Canales, that's one thing I do not like what he's doing right now, is that he's picking wrong personnel to play on the ones and play on the twos. Pat Jones is not a starter. I don't think he should start. I thought heading into the preseason that he would be a starter, but watching the preseason right now, I'm not even a coach, and I can see Pat Jones cannot generate any pressure. He's on one-on-ones against tight ends against the Texans multiple times, and he cannot generate any pressure. He's just putting hands to the face. He's just going like this. Like, you have better pass rushers with Princely and Nick Scorin as rookies today. Pat Jones is, unfortunately, okay? We signed him, obviously, but I just don't know if there's any potential there, man. There's just none. So far, the first game of the preseason, they're very underwhelming, and the pass rush is very concerning for me. I'm going to keep it real. And it's just going to be a long year, man. I mean, I think this year could be worse than last year in pass rush. And that's crazy to say, because I just last week was like, we're going to be improved in pass rush. But just seeing this consistent, just bad pass rush games in preseason, again, that's why preseason does matter. With the fans that are like, preseason doesn't matter, because you get to see things that you never saw. But at the same time, when you're not that dysfunctional on offense, it's not a big deal, right? Like, the offense is not as bad as people seem, but the defense, yes, it's as bad as people seem, because the pass rush is completely dysfunctional. There's no really anything that you can take away positive from the pass rush. The offense, though, receivers are getting open, right? You're seeing T-Mac, big plays from him. Bryce is making plays in certain instances. Again, that's my only concern. The offensive line has not been bad, as much as people want to twist it, their way. It's not been bad. Second for defense is the linebackers. It's going to be bad again, guys. I'm going to just keep it real. Okay, it's going to be bad again. The linebackers don't know how to hit the gaps. They don't. Christian Roseboom, in my opinion, is the best linebacker on this team right now. And there was plenty of times where he had a hole, he had a gap, and could not hit it on Saturday. It's just going to be another bad position on defense this year, and I'm very, very concerned about it, okay? So that's it. Corner, I like where corner is going. You have JC. Obviously, you have Mike Jackson. You have Shaw. You have young players like Court Thorne, who's showing out right now. That's one player on defense that's actually showing out as a young player. I'm very excited to see what he can do in this room in 2025. And safety, obviously, Trevor Morg, a lot. You saw he would win in the box. We're going to use him like that a lot this season, is a in-the-box type of safety. So with all that kind of play touching on, okay, now let's touch on Dave Canales and why we should not fire our second-year head coach or second-year GM. It's stupid. Okay, I'm just going to just say it like that. It's stupid. Anybody that generally wants, is considering as a fan, we should fire Dave Canales if he starts this. No. Okay, we've done that too many times, and it's failed too many times to do that at this point, okay? I understand the frustration, okay, because a lot of people don't like what he's doing when it comes to getting personnel, the number one offense and number one defense, some places that he has, but the defense just looks bad still, okay? Just going to keep it honest with you. The interior and the corner room is really the only position groups on defense that I'm like, okay, I'm confident in this season. And it's crazy because corner was one of my worst positions heading into the season, but seeing the ascension of Court Thorne, which is why preseason matters, by the way, off training camp preseason matters because of those reasons, but they also don't matter as much, okay? They matter, but they don't. It's kind of a 50-50 thing. They matter, but they don't. If they matter because you're losing, so you're going to lose games, that doesn't. But they matter because they're going to it gives you a preview of certain positions, man. Especially when you get reps with your ones, with your twos, it's going to give you a lot. And there's no depth on this team. That's one thing I can give the actual concerns about. There's no depth on this team at all. So you really get injuries, you're cooked, man. You're cooked. But back to Dave Canales and this second year regime, there's no reason why we should be debating about firing any coach besides Ejiro Rivera. That's the only person there should be debate about, because again, I've been kind of put my back on Ejiro Rivera. I've done that since he's been here. He's a great defensive coordinator, but it's starting to get frustrating because he's not doing his job very well here in Carolina specifically. You have a number one cornerback. You don't want to shadow one specific receiver because you're scared of whatever reason. Okay, and two, it's just like you saw it on Saturday too when you're on the film audience, which is why I like to watch games before I hop on and just yap about stuff. Okay, you watch the film, we're backed off against receivers 10 yards on 3rd and 2s. It's just like you're giving up easy passes. It's getting frustrating when it comes to Ejiro Rivera a little bit, but these are my thoughts, man. These are my thoughts. I'm gonna have a specific film breakdown for you guys here a couple days. I'm gonna break something down. Might be defense, might be pass rush. I just might do pass rush for you guys, kind of show you guys how DJ Wanham, Pat Jones, all the pass rushers have been doing, specifically in the game on Saturday, and just break that down for you guys here in the next couple of days. Stay tuned for that. I'm trying to stay as consistent as possible. I'm back in school, so I'm gonna try to stay as consistent as possible. We're on the road to 1K. Hit that for me. And with all being said, man, appreciate you guys tuning in. Like this video, share, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.